Hello and welcome to my desk. The EPED project for your consideration at the moment is the Accelerometer-Lock Box, which, as you can see, the lock box we have here is literally a priority mail flat rate box that has a little servo there that, when opened, sort of springs to life, and we have various other, honestly, rather straightforward circuitry, although it looks like a rat's nest inside. So the idea here is that when you want a place to just store your valuables or whatever else, you might want to lock it. This is the purpose of lock boxes in general. However, what if instead of having a physical combination lock or a key, instead you had a combination of movements that actually made the thing that was your combination, if you will. That's kind of the idea here. So it takes the accelerometer data and compares it to a previously recorded combination. And so right now you can see, moving across the screen, there's the plus series of data, which is the current accelerometer data, and the unmarked lines that are standing still. And those are that's the recorded combination. And when the rolling data is within a certain tolerance of the combination based on root mean squares and averages thereof, it then unlocks the box. Fairly straightforward in concept. Bringing it to life has been a little bit more complicated, but anyway, let's take a look. So in this case, the combination is pretty much just tilt to the left to tilt to the right. So let's try tilt to the left and tilt to the right. When it gets close, it should... Oh, that wasn't close enough. Let's try it again. There we go. So when it gets close enough, you heard the servo whirring, it then unlocks, and we can get our, in this case, circuitry. Now, also, you probably want it to be able to close automatically. So we found that putting an actual closing sensor on the thing, that putting a sensor on the cardboard just doesn't work very well. So we have a little button inside that we just push. And when it's closed for about 3 seconds, it then locks itself, and then resumes collecting data to look for the combination to unlock again. And so what about, so obviously, putting a graphical user interface onto a physical box doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It'd be quite expensive and not overly helpful, honestly, especially if it's, a whole bunch of lines moving around. So the idea for the actual user interface is that this thing could more or less be controlled via text messaging, by sending simple keywords to a particular phone number. It would be able to respond to those commands. So for instance, those commands more or less correlate to the buttons we have on the GUI. So the easiest one is the lock and unlock button. So when you click unlock, it obviously unlocks. Click lock again. It doesn't lock right away because it's open, because we don't want mechanical issues with things moving around. So once it detects that it's closed, it then locks again. The next button would be for resetting the combination. So eventually you are going to need to set the combination either at the beginning or later. The idea is that you reset it, and then do that, and then we set a combination there, and then we'll tilt this way too. And then, as you can see, there is limited space. It's limited to 100 samples, and once you fill the 100 samples, that is your combination. Whether the combination you would like would be longer or shorter. At the moment, we are limited to 100 samples. Theoretically, we could trim it up and make sure that when the thing isn't moving, that doesn't count, or something like that. But as it is, this is how it stands. And so once you're done recording, it unlocks, but we can lock it again and try it. This is a more complicated combination than before, so I'm not sure how well I can do it, honestly. Apparently not well enough. Try again. There we go. So again, you heard the servo whir, and it's open. So that's pretty much it. It's not overly complicated in concept. The various methods of just making everything work were just a lot of complicated work, but that's about it. I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any questions, feel free to email. Thanks.